Hi everybody. I wanted to go over the week 10 assignments with you for English 101. So you are supposed to do some reading this week, and this material is located in the Unit 3 learning materials. There are links in the announcement that will take you right to those pages. Please read them carefully, especially the pages on paraphrasing and quotations, as those will help you as you write your Unit 3 essay. You also want to check my feedback on your source evaluation that you submitted last week. Make sure that I approve the article you found to help you with your response to the article that I gave you for the Unit 3 essay. And then the next item is the big assignment for the week, and that is to complete the thesis and outline planner for your essay. Note that the due date is midweek instead of at the end of the week. So you're going to click on the link, which will take you to that assignment, or you can go to Content and then go to Unit 3 Assignments. Scroll down till you get to the Thesis and Outline Planner. You'll click on the link for the planner document, and then you can type on this document. If it's easier for you to create this information on your own, blank document, that's fine as well, but you should be able to type directly on this planner. So the planner is divided into the sections of your paper. So you will have an introduction, you will have a summary of the article that I gave you, you will have a response to that article, which will consist of multiple paragraphs, and then you will have a concluding paragraph. So for the introduction, you should begin the essay with some sort of interesting hook or way to engage the reader or grab the reader's attention. Try to avoid the you point of view. So if you want to use a question, make sure you word it in a way that does not involve you. But it could be a question, it could be an interesting statement, it could be a scenario, or some other statement that will make the reader be interested in continuing to read your essay. Then you will need to think of what information the reader needs to know before reading your response to the article. This is not where you explain what the article said. This is not where you explain what you think about the article or your response to it, but this is context or background information. So if the article is about misinformation in social media, maybe we need to clarify what we mean by social media. Maybe we need to know who is involved in this. Maybe we need to know how widespread this problem is. So here on the planner, you do not have to write complete sentences, but give some ideas about what information you will include here to prepare your reader to understand your thesis for the essay. And then the last part of your introduction will be your thesis statement. And this is your overall reaction to the article. You may need to wait until you've really thought about what your response is involving before you formulate your thesis. But it should focus on the content and your reaction to that content. So it should not say this was a good article or this was a bad article. It should not say I liked the article or I didn't like the article. It should be focused on the ideas in the article. Now you may agree with some and disagree with others, so your thesis might say something like, I agree with the idea that blah, 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 and I do have problems, or I disagree with the idea that blah, blah, blah. or perhaps even better, to explain, while this is a good point, this is something that needs to be addressed. So your thesis statement will be the overall point of your entire essay. Okay, the next part of your paper will be a summary of the article that I provided you. And you should review your summary writing tips and make sure that you provide, using your own words, the key points in the article. And I have numbers here for you to list them. You should not use complete sentences here. I just want the key point, a phrase, to indicate what the article said first, what it said next, what it said following that, and so on and so forth. All right, the next section in your paper is the response. And this must be at least 2 different points in the article that you either agree or disagree with. We have in the planner spaces for you to put up to 4 points, at least 2 and up to 4. Don't go beyond 4 or your essay will either be too long or your points will be too superficial and you won't have a good strong paragraph for each of those. And of course, these points should be incorporated or come out of your thesis statement. For each of your main body points, please type on the planner the topic sentence or the overall point of that paragraph. So if the first point is that, let's say we are looking at the sample essay, surveillance is important to prevent terrorism. So I want the overall point you're making, and that's probably coming out of your thesis statement. Then you're going to list information to support your point. Some of that information must come from the article. And so on your planner, indicate to me that from the article, you got this information. Try to paraphrase it if you can, but do indicate the paragraph number where you got that information. If you find that you need to quote something from the article, please put that information in quotes and also, of course, give the paragraph number. So you may be using just one piece of information from the article, or you may be using more than one piece. Please list that information. You do not have to write this in a complete sentence. Just list that fact or detail from the article, indicating that it's from the article. And then you also need to give your own ideas. So label that and then give the point that you want to make. This response should not just be telling what the article said, even if you say, well, and I agree with that. It should be adding to the discussion. It should be incorporating your experiences, your ideas, and your thoughts. So I've listed 4 items here. You may have more or fewer than those, but in your details, we must have information from both the article and from yourself. Here, it just asks, are you responding positively or negatively? And you can just respond, and this is in relation to what the article said. So just answer that question. Now, you will not say that in your essay. This is just to give me an idea of how you're responding to the point made in the article. And then the last part is, excuse me, to include information from the article that you found if it's applicable to this point. You must use your outside or your additional article somewhere in your essay, but it does not have to be in every body paragraph. So if it doesn't apply in this situation, you can just say not applicable, but somewhere you need to list that information. So if you did use it here in this first point, then you would provide that information, probably take off the italics, and again, give the paragraph number where you found that information. All right, so then the same format is for each of the other points. Please write down the topic sentence. Please list examples or details from both the article and your own knowledge and experiences. Tell me whether this is a positive or negative response to the article, and include information from your additional source if it's applicable to that point. So again, you'll fill out at least 2 of these and maybe 3 or 4 of them. The conclusion is really no new information. It's just going to reaffirm your thesis. So you could write here what you think you're going to say. I don't need the conclusion written out in paragraph form, but you may want to list a few ideas that you're going to put here. In addition to rewording your thesis in a fresh way, this is also a place to give the so what statement of why this is important. But again, this would not include any information from your articles. This is just recapping what you've already said in your essay and providing closure. So a few phrases would probably be enough for the planner. Please make sure you put enough detail in your planner so that I can see the breadth of information that you're going to be putting in your essay. Ideally, once you complete the planner, you should be able to write your essay from the planner without having to go back into your sources. So be detailed. Feel free to put more than 4 details in a body paragraph. Make sure that your summary is complete, which may very well be more than 4 points. So feel free to add more points to the document as needed. And then, of course, when you're done, you'll go into the link for the assignment where it's first listed, and there you can upload your document. Hopefully that will help you with this assignment.